Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from the host Imperial Dane, featuring today a 1 vs 1 on Kholodny Ferma, this time though in the summertime. We shall be watching Dberlatto fighting for the Soviet Union for the... now I forgot it, but let's just go for the 125th Guards Rifle Division going up against Warboss of the Germans of the 20th Panzergrenadier Division. Probably supported by other elements. We're seeing a one pioneer start already here. Grenadiers on the way. And we're seeing also a rather direct move towards the centre by Dberlatto. In fact, both players are so far going for that. Neither player going for the north or the south so far. Although we do see a quick shift here. We see the first contact squad and we do see the first beginnings. A full southern push going in there from a Dberlatto. So really things are shifting up west. It rather looks like that initially Warboss will be heading northwards. So right there we've got some differences. That also means right away we probably won't be seeing... Oh, never mind. We're actually seeing him going for a push for both the north and the south, which as the Germans can be a bit more dangerous. And seems to be heading for a full focused Soviet southern push. And we are seeing a second squad of conscripts arriving there. We're also seeing the MG42 arriving for Warboss. Die schweres MG42. Grenadiers moving out, continuing their advance in the name of the Reich. Munitions and fuel being subjected to Soviet control in a few seconds. And looks like the first engagement will be sitting off here. No, yes, no, this is actually going to be dangerous and it's going to move in close range. Troops that are in heavy cover, which is not really what you want to do, in particular when you're moving in from negative cover. So this is not really a good engagement at all for Warboss as you consider actually withdrawing from this. Unless he's actually counting and holding up until he can get the MG42 there, and perhaps already here Dberlatto or sensing something like this. But never mind, then he's pulled back into heavy cover again. The MG42 needs to quickly set up before the conscripts have a chance to get close. And looks like they didn't have it. MG42 lets loose. Boris went down. A shoemaker. Getting absolutely shredded with the rest of his squad. Other squad also running into it. A problem with this is initially going quite well for Warboss. He's just managed to blunt the Soviet spear quite severely initially, which pretty much means he's going to have some time to secure some territory if he handles this correctly. So that could prove to be quite disadvantageous to Dberlatto. He chose the ground well, chose the engagement well, and Dberlatto did not win well out on this bit. But now things could go well. He moved a bit too far ahead with the MG42, got a bit too bold, and that could backfire. There we go, Molotov away. Conscripts are taking a bit of damage, but the MG42 is going to be pushed away. Another Grenadier squad. My apologies, moving up. Second MG42 on the way.
The machine and Gewehr team is awaiting orders.
Northern point secured. Munitions likely soon to be property of the Reich Center belonging to no one. And we are in fact seeing Dberlatto quickly shifting his focus to the north, having realized that the south is likely not going to be his anytime soon, with the presence of heavy machine guns and grenadiers now flooding in ever larger numbers. Good appreciation of the situation right there, although there seems to be another not another MG42. Thought that might have been it. So northern push, but so far probably proved more fruitful for Dberlatto. We are seeing a support weapon company going up. And there we go, another engagement, two engagement going up, in fact, flaring up several points of the map. Pioneers are actually going to go well. We're seeing the MG42 apparently temporarily, not entirely sure what Warboss is doing there. Looks like he's trying to secure the centre with an MG42, trying to restrict the movement of Dberlatto. Certainly one way of doing it. While securing here, getting the fuel. Grenadiers versus conscripts. Another Grenadier squad moving up. He could consider a light machine gun. And there we go, another Molotov getting locked in the direction of the Grenadiers. They do dodge it, except Friedrich, who bursts into flames, regretting his decision to hoard fuel inside his pockets. Something the rest of his squad never quite understood why he did. North, though, is quickly falling to Soviet influence. Another combat question is, what will be the first unit out here from the support weapon Campania? Heavy machine gun, field gun, mortar. The options are several. Half-track on the way, so likely no light machine guns. That's likely going to be a flamethrower half-track. Die Flammenpanzerwagen. And it's a heavy machine gun, the Maxim. Grenadiers pushing in there. And the MD-42 remaining down there, stopping the combat engineers, protecting the fuel point. In fact, looks like he's holding both fuel points at the moment, although one of them has been briefly disconnected. Grenadiers are doing what they can to regain it, but they are running into spirited Soviet resistance, losing men and health. And there we go, the flamethrower half-track arrives, quickly getting upgraded. Rifle grenade there, does a bit of damage, but ultimately not enough. Doctrines available. There you go, flamethrower half-track rushing in though, but not upgraded, which means he's going to have plenty of time to get the anti-tank grenade of this Dberlatto to stop this, which could prove to be a bit of a fly in the ointment. There we go, Maxim versus MD-42 up here. Light cover, no cover in fact, versus heavy cover. And if he begins firing armor-piercing rounds, that could definitely prove to be advantageous, since that means he'll be doing a lot more damage. So Warboss could consider that, and probably should consider that. There we go, flamethrower half-tank upgrade, but as predicted, he got the anti-tank grenade upgrade in time, locked it and got away safely. And now the MD-42 is going to get flanked. This is not looking good, and we do see a quick retreat right there from Warboss, realizing that the southern front has been perilously exposed and has to pull back. Quite a shame, but that is what happens when you leave an MD-42 alone like that.
Securing our territory.
And Guards infantry arriving. Guards infantry ever popular at the moment. Flamethrower half-track going to need some repairs. Panzergrenadiers on the way. The Panzergrenadier. And the Maxim having a nice day here in the sun.
Our lines of supply are disrupted.
Northern push continues. Not entirely sure why the drama persists in this, despite having a damaged engine. Bit of a shame that. Pioneers pushed away. Nothing really happening. Acting out a bit. Trying to see if it might smooth itself out. Sometimes it does. Automatically. Can be a bit hard to determine. MD-42 continues to hold up the centre, making it hard for Dberlatto to make a move towards there, which is good. There we go.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Southern push, trying to secure the territory there. No mines though. Dberlatto really should consider mining, in particular this central road would be a good spot to mine.
The territory is out of contact.
Maxim shifting about. He might want to consider a mortar to help deal with this. Perhaps use some smoke rounds.
Look out, grenade! Ready!
Panzergrenadiers managed to push away the Soviet invaders, but the south has still been lost. The Soviet Union is on the march, comrades. And my voice seems to be on the retreat. Flamethrower half-track shifting about. A nice push up here up the centre could definitely prove disadvantageous. We actually see the mines going up there. Nice spot for that, although the troops rather seem to be more placed in the direction that seem to tell him to avoid the mine. A few anti-tank rifle shots though managed to push it away. And some poor bastard lights on fire. But so far Warboss securing several vital structures, setting them up as machine gun nests. Going to make it difficult for Dberlatto to get as much freedom of movement as he wants, which is definitely one way to approach it. But why, in that sense, could also help him. God damn it. Two Panzergrenadier squads operating in the south, no real support. Quick grenade, and half the Panzergrenadier squad goes down. And pushing in remorselessly and ruthlessly. Popping out to Dberlatto, who has gone for Guards Mode Doctrine. Again, very popular doctrine, gives you a lot of useful abilities, plus useful units. Like the heavy mortar, guards rifles, marked vehicle, T-45s, and vehicle repair training. But there we go, counter-attack going in, flame for a half-track, Panzergrenadiers, guards, infantry, lighting on fire, bundle grenades, but a bit too late there. Nonetheless, penetration is secure, but the max machine gun provides nice covering for retreat. So well done there. Soviet forces have been pushed back across the map. Grenadiers leading a counter-attack in the north. Can Warboss push through? Or will the 20th Panzergrenadier Division run into some problems?
We are bleeding, comrade!
MG42 providing supporting fire, dealing with the combat engineers, trying to flank the Grenadiers. Well done.
Waiting for your command.
And Dberlatto should think either getting about field gun or by teching up. He needs something to put a more serious stomp into that flame for a half-tech quicker. Otherwise he's going to be continually paying a rather steep price in manpower upkeep.
Guard squad ready.
And we're actually seeing telemines up here for Warboss as well. That's definitely not a bad move. In fact, we're seeing several telemines up. Splendid. Splendid. Trying to secure the central position, not just on machine gun, but with his telemines in case, for example, Dberlatto tries to rush in with scout cars, most likely. But even HU-85 trying to get a bit too close then, or too friendly, will run into them and suffer actually quite some damage and be much easier targets. So nice to see the mines there. And certainly I'd also love to see some more from Dberlatto. Here, for example, would be an excellent spot for mining. I mean, absolutely amazing. And around here would also be a good spot. Operating his Panzergrenadier forces in larger teams, getting the most firepower out together. That's definitely one way of doing it. Though, of course, note he does keep some spread between them, so they're not so quite easily locked down. Which is also how you want to do it. So well handled there by Warboss. Heavy mortar continues to fire away. So far, though, not a single kill. He could also consider actually using smoke, blocking up the line of sight of the MG42 and flanking it. Again, my apologies. The weather is not exactly something my constitution agrees with. And we are seeing some aerial reconnaissance going on above the positions of Dberlatto, begging the question of what doctrine has Warboss gone for. There are a few that offers it. It could be Spearhead, Joint Strike, Jaeger Armor. I think there's another one actually. There we go, a direct assault on the MG42. No attempt at smoking up. That's a bit of a shame, Smoke is a nice ability. I really think it should be used more, but sadly it does not seem to be. And there we go, the MG42 actually went down. Not seemingly though to the efforts of the heavy mortar. And what's more, the flame for half-track rushes in, going to negate all the effort made by Dberlatto and his troops. Guards rifle squad catching on fire. Flame for half-track rushes forwards again. This time straight for the heavy mortar, which does manage to escape in time. HU-85 on the way. Rather natural response, of course.
We are losing territory.
As we also see the support armor corps going up.
Replacements have arrived.
There we go, HU-85 on the way.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
And eventually two flame for a half-tech, quickly anti-tank grenade, but that's definitely going to be a much bigger problem for Dberlatto to handle.
Awaiting command. We are taking losses.
Panzer squad will be forced to retreat in the face of this.
Our DPs are here.
support?
You need something built?
And forces are ready, but still woefully under-equipped to really handle this. Again, he's lacking a field gun or something a bit more determined to deal with this flamethrower half-track.
More units are here.
Panzerkampfwagen 4 rolls off in the direction of the enemy from Warboss's side. Warboss holding the north nicely. The MD-42 is proving to be quite handy, although he did tragically lose one. But now with the H-85, he'll definitely have a chance of breaking through. Heavy mortar continues to fire and continues to not really kill anything. But Panzer IV pushing in from the north.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Looks like he's ignoring for the time being. More intent on getting that flame for a half-track.
Armor is engaging us!
There we go, first hit. Again, Betchley 2 quite handy, and there we go, 2 hits and he's down to half health. One more hit and he could get it, but we do see a Panzer IV ready to ambush it in case. He probably should pull it a bit back so that USCH-5 doesn't see it in time, you know. Bit unfortunate there, he could have ambushed it, but he stuck his nose a bit too far ahead.
Under fire!
And there we go, lots of Panzerfaust. Can the Panzer IV flank it? It needs to keep moving in that case. Keep moving. Warboss, don't stop up. But might be too late now. Even with the damaged engine, it can still be a problem. Just keep moving. Don't stop up. Oh dear, too late. And that's that Panzer IV. H-85 is almost done, but it's almost most veterans who won as well. Another Guard Driver squad arriving right there.
Our unit count is increasing.
Things pressuring up. North large left unguarded. Might soon feel the wrath of Dberlatto again. Or Dberlatto.
Tank destroyer here.
Mortar ready for order.
And the heavy mortar continues to bombard away.
Squad replenished.
So things have been restored a bit for the Soviet Union. And the 20th Panzergrenadier Division has suffered a few losses.
Machine gun ready.
Anti-tank rifle ready.
This now belongs to the people and workers of the Soviet.
And another Panzer IV. Pretty much box standard choice there. I think a few Stugs could actually prove beneficial.
Yes, comrade.
Due to the higher rate of fire and higher range. A pair of those could probably much easier take down an Su-85 if handled properly. Plus could be used to lay down a thicker barrage towards enemy infantry as well.
Area secured.
Maxim leading the way, but getting ambushed by grenadiers.
They're attacking from the air!
Assault man ready.
And we're seeing another reconnaissance run by the looks of things.
We are awaiting orders.
The sector is at risk.
And a Guards infantry squad getting caught on its own by the Panzer IV. Quickly bunning it up though. Likely to buy themselves more time, but it is not enough. The Panzer IV crushes them beneath its mighty treads, and it looks like anti-tank rifle left behind. And that's going to be a Guard squad loss for Dberlatto. What a shame. And
We have secured.
several weapons now going to fall into the possession of the Germans. The Germans were quite fond of actually securing Russian weapons in one way or the other. In particular, the Waffen SS used them a lot, the automatic weapons that is, to increase their overall firepower.
You need light anti-tank support?
Flame for a half-track ready, bereit. And constantly keeping an eye on enemy positions of movements, that's good.
Territory secured.
Likely going to keep an eye on where the Su-85 is.
Fresh meat has arrived. Conscripts here.
Don't let them see us! Comrade.
Guards under fire, grenadiers moving up with a mix of Soviet anti-tank rifles and light machine guns.
Take it quick.
Another Su-85 might be in here, or perhaps an Su-76 to provide some artillery support. Now this guard squad might go the way of the Dodo as well. But no, they do manage to get away. And we do see an attempt here by Dberlatto to mine down. But now, of course, Warboss might be aware. Oh, very close to winding up the squad there.
Mortar ready for order.
North is securely in the hands of the Reich.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector. Enemy is engaging us.
And what is this? A howitzer is up. A light Feldhaubitze is up for Warboss. And it's actually time to switch over to Warboss as conscripts up north trying to flank the MG42 get hit. Molotov though goes off, but they are going to be forced to run right through the horde of Panzergrenadiers and the flame for a half tank. And the building collapses! Mortar gutted! Good lord, the smouldering ruin. At the same time though, German artillery is bombarding the Soviet base. And in fact could wipe out retreating units. In fact, was very close to wiping out a retreating unit right there. And there we go, he got the conscript squad. Panzer IV though needs to be careful, he doesn't get overwhelmed by infantry, he does need to keep some support ready to keep troops away from it. As the H-85 is quick to pursue. And we are seeing a second H-85 out as well. A dangerous game of cat and mouse. Except it's not quite clear what's the cat and what's the mouse. But currently Warboss is holding most of the map. And the artillery is definitely probably going to help solidify that a bit. In fact, we're seeing he's gone for the joint strike doctrine, which also means he can get officers as he wants. Grenadiers need to retreat though before they burst completely into flames or get wiped out completely. And there we go, the H-85 has arrived. And the Panzer Force within range. Pioneers are working hard to repair it, but it's simply not going to cut it. Second Panzer IV on the way. Still would like to see some Stugs. But it is too late now. And there we go, Veterans E1 and Veterans E dead.
Enemy has destroyed a panzer.
And artillery continues to fire away at the Soviet base.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Likes a bit of German artillery. Though not the lightest artillery they actually had. That would fall under the light Infanteriegeschütz and the Gebirgsgeschütz, as they were 75mm artillery guns. But there we go, heavy mortar getting ambushed by Panzergrenadiers and the flame for a half track. A bold move right there, very close to getting it, but sadly not quite fully succeed. And now the half track is coming under fire from the H-85s, fusillading it with a heavy fire. Conscript squad could go down. Heavy attrition now sets in amongst Dberlatto. Several squads are getting wiped out, and we're seeing a Maxim making a straight beeline right there. Perhaps for the howitzer, but he's going to need the H-85 to support it, but he's not. Also note that while the German howitzer doesn't fire as heavy rounds as the Soviet 155mm howitzer, it does fire more rounds, and more importantly, basically, can keep on firing as soon as it's done with one barrage. You can pretty much begin the next one. Missing a light barrage from the light Infanteriegeschütz, actually finding some flank cover. And it looks like he's on a rampage. He wants that flame for a half track. He wants to end the fascist flame wagon and destroy it in the name of Comrade Stalin, to avenge all our comrades burned to a crisp. And there we go, the S-85 actually gets abandoned. Will he destroy it or will he recover it? Now he's going to destroy it. How dull. I think he could have salvaged it with some pioneers, but apparently... But I suppose that is his decision. I still think he should have recovered it. That could have proved to be quite nasty for Dberlatto. In particular, as he does have two pioneer squads right next to it, he could do it. So why he isn't doing it? Come on. Be a bit brave. Howitzer though continues to fire away, and I do believe it's time for the mid-game analysis. Current situation is that Warboss is holding most of the map. He's inflicting horrific losses upon the Soviet player, and he's now got some artillery. He's going to add some constant pressure on the Soviet player, and is actually going to force him. In fact, I think what ought to be primary mission right now for the Soviets is going to be hunting down that howitzer and knocking it out, using an Su-85 or 2. Clear the way carefully, but still clear it, and then basically fire away, wrecking that howitzer. Failure to do so could prove to be quite detrimental in the short, not just the short run, but very much in the long run, as more and more units are lost and his base becomes less. And what he should also do, what other things could Dberlatto? I mean, again, current priority: knock out the howitzer, try to deal with the Panzer IV, perhaps try and recover this if he actually becomes aware of it, and otherwise build a front line. He also needs to consider getting up some field guns for support, and perhaps another Maxim to help deal with Warboss's infantry. For Warboss, it's basically about keeping the howitzer safe, keep up the pressure against his Soviet foe, and again, I also think he needs to recover this Su-85, and otherwise, keep the frontage reasonably well together, securing the victory point, and otherwise, keep blasting away using the howitzer against any sort of targets of opportunity that might present itself to him as a glorious commander of the Reich. So then, let's get back into the fight. And of course, I'd also suggest getting an officer up, because we could then combine it with the howitzer to get even more artillery out of it if necessary. But blasting going on here. Howitzer shells impacting against the base. The difference between German and Soviet artillery basically came down to numbers and skill. Basically, the German artillery gunners were usually more skilled, more trained, had better equipment. What they generally tend to lack on basically was numbers and basically an ability to coordinate, and that was something the Soviets could do just like the Americans. So while the Germans, for example, did have better skill, in fact they also throughout the division usually had more artillery, sort of handily disposed, they could never really sort of get off the same kind of massive artillery that the Soviets had. On the other hand, the Soviets could never really match them in sort of tactical artillery usage, which was rather one of their problems. Panzer IV, they're running into a problem here in the north, which is certainly a bit of an issue. Panzer's moving up, they might even flank a few Panzer VIs if they had, that could also have been helpful, but there you go. Still, that was the basic difference between Soviet and German. So in fact, the Germans tried to copy Soviet artillery usage. Partly they once tried to create something in the entire artillery division, which was pretty unique for them. But beyond that, that was actually with the introduction of the Volksgrenadiers. They also created the Volksartillerie Corps, which was rather an attempt by the Germans to actually copy Soviet artillery organization right out. Right. So, fun, very fun little fact there. And of course, in that regard, the Soviets also had the advantage of the field gun, which again was partly functioning as artillery. Again, that was in fact also something the Germans tried to copy with their own field cannon. Panzer IV down, but they do get the Su-85 right here. Dberlatto tried to use his Su-85 as a tank, and he actually failed. And again, when you try to use the tank as a tank, it's not going to work. Then it's going to be out-tanked by the tanks. And in particular, when he didn't even support it, so that was actually a huge mistake right there for Dberlatto. He did get the Panzer IV, but he also lost his only tank destroyer. And he's got nothing to stop the Panzer besides a few guards, riflemen with anti-tank rifles, which is not necessarily going to work out as brilliantly as he wants to. And he's still got the howitzer finding a way. Oh yeah, we actually might still got the Tellermines covering the approach. Except perhaps not here. Might have been set off by something. But there you go, Panzer IV advances. And nothing to hold it back. So right here, Warboss has been presented with a unique opportunity by Dberlatto to push forwards and destroy everything that opposes Germany. There we go, another kill. Oh, anti-tank grenade. By the way, the Panzer IV's ended up in a sticky position, and we are seeing an Su-85 rolling in. Quite a problematic situation. We don't need to provide cover for it now. If only had an officer to drop down a smoke screen to cover it. Veteran C3 Grenadiers with a Soviet light machine gun. Panzer IV trying to escape. might barely do it. We do see the Grenadiers moving up, trying to get off a Panzerfaust.
He's shooting at us!
And there we go. Panzerfaust did the job. But a howitzer, a mortar round might almost take it out in return.
Artillery ready.
I'm actually seeing the howitzer getting very close to Veteran 2.
Down! Grenade! What do you need?
And Panzer is pushing up the centre. Oh, Grenadiers got wiped out. A small victory for the Soviet Union right there. That's the 125th
Fire! It's a mortar!
Guards Rifle Division finds itself on the back foot at the moment. Another hit right there on the Panzer Grenadiers, almost wiping it out.
Kampfwagen is ready. Location captured. Verdammt!
And a quick Molotov against the Panzer Grenadiers, a bundle grenade in return. Men dying.
They're firing on us! We are losing a sector. Capture complete. We are under Soviet
Another Panzer
attack.
falling away. Still think you should consider getting in a field officer out in the field.
Here you go!
Standing by.
Now perhaps trying to get the mortar. One hit.
That's a grenade!
Did a bit of damage there.
Forces are securing our territory.
And Dberlatto might want to consider moving away, particularly not moving up his conscripts into the range of within the mortar as well.
300 points. Standing by.
Definitely a bit risky there, a bit risky. Panzer force sneaking forward, need to be careful.
Finally, they promoted us.
And there we go. Veteran G2 increasing the damage. Dangerous situation and popping over to Dberlatto. Things are reasonably equal in the victory point department, but he needs to get that Howard more.
Mortar crew ready.
And looks like he's actually getting... No, he's not. I thought he might have tried to pull out the mortar before it's too late. Apparently Dberlatto has other plans, which do not involve getting that Howard out of the way either. Which again is very much the advantage of Warboss.
Conscripts have arrived.
Since again that Howard is very much a constant threat and thorn in the side of Dberlatto and his forces. It's really chewing things up. In particular since he's relying on static units to a certain degree, which are easier targets for the howitzer. But we do see a field gun finally on the way. We also see a second H-85. The first one needs to get away and get repaired. Oh, no. Ah, he actually spotted it and pulled it back. So right there, mistake by Warboss. He should either finish it off or taking it back. Instead of, you know, leaving it like that. So now we do see that Dberlatto has been granted a chance of getting back into the match by Warboss. Conscript Squad got wiped out on the retreat though by a lucky shot from the Panzergrenadier. Well done. Guard teams advancing from one side, conscript from the other, lobbing perhaps a Molotov over the hedgerows. Panzergrenadiers doing what they can.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
And there we go, the howitzer is lost. Should have been a mortar. God damn, why do I insist on calling it a howitzer? But it went down either way.
Territory.
And so Dberlatto lost a vital asset.
Stand your ground!
Assault gun ready for action.
And using the self-repair ability right here to put the H-85 together. Well done, well done. Pack 40 has also right in the field. Interestingly enough, I would have figured that Warboss might have gone with the Pack 43 since he has gone for joint strike, and I think about right here would be a nice position for the Pack 43. Because you have to remember, none of this would actually matter, none of this would block its line of fire, so a position right here would actually be able to dominate a nice chunk of the centre and actually make it very difficult for Dberlatto to do anything with his infantry. And we do see an artillery field officer actually arriving now. Interesting timing. Interesting timing.
The enemy has found us!
Another artillery barrage jetting in.
Yes, fire!
And looks like smoke is getting called in right on the spot. A huge stream of smoke shells pop down.
Fucking hell, they are killing us!
And there we go, the second H-85 is ready, fully repaired. Panzer is trying to flank, force retreat, but they do have the smoke providing cover.
Remaining.
Taking fucking fire!
Field gun, oh, artillery officer moving up.
Large fire!
Oh! Blimey, what killed him?
Enemy infantry!
I think it might have been the howitzer who killed him, Now that's no good. Not when you get your artillery officer killed by your own artillery. That really ought to be a badge of shame on Warboss's head. You know, yeah, I got my artillery field officer killed by my own artillery. Ich bin ein Dummkopf.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Things are getting hot here, comrade!
AT gun
And
here.
the field gun firing as artillery.
Establish our supply.
AT gun ready.
Pushing upwards. A CoH2 has arrived, interestingly enough.
We took it out!
And it looks like we're going to see a northern assault from Dberlatto. That could definitely work out. He probably shouldn't be trying to push up here from the centre. But at the same time, his own centre is now being rather pressured, so he's going to need to pull off the assault soon enough.
We need light anti-tank.
And there we go, air recon's on the way, so there's also a chance that Warboss will find out what's going on and respond appropriately. And also looks like the field gun is getting hammered. Yes, indeed. Wiped out.
Ultimate sacrifice.
This is not looking good for Dberlatto. The howitzer has indeed proven to be his bane, his foe, his nightmare. CoH2 doing what he can in response. Killing a few troops on the retreat.
Assault gun ready for action.
Now he's pulling back the H-85s from the flank.
We have it.
Which begs the question of why did he put them up there in the first place then?
Forces are attempting to capture our territory.
He needs to regain the initiative somehow. His points are quickly draining out. And we are seeing a response here from Warboss in two H-8 Panzer IVs. Now the guard squad losses are heavy again. This needs to go. It should have gone a long time ago. But he did not. Instead, the Germans have been allowed to fire indiscriminately at Soviet positions and punish them. Which is generally not how you want it done. Oh! Katyusha spotted! And down! And just as the centre's clear, he can do it. No, no, he's pulling back. He's pulling back. Oh dear, a nice little harassment assault has inadvertently actually saved his howitzer. Oh dear, Dberlatto, you should have just gone for the howitzer. Instead, you might just have sealed your own doom.
Under armor attack! Over there! Here they come! We're taking losses!
The sector is at risk.
Is ours now!
Not looking good at all. Pan's going to just push up the centre. Nothing to hold them back. And we are seeing old tank destroyers rushing northwards
Assault gun ready for action.
as quickly as their threats can carry them. Looks like, ooh, H-85 is going to spot the wounded Panzer IV first.
We have more conscripts.
Other Panzer IVs not within supporting range, which means it should get out of there before it's too late. There we go, Panzer IV down. More light artillery. But we do see now that Dberlatto is really just hammering into the flank of Warboss.
Continue.
And we are also noting that a heavy Panzer Corps is up.
Guard squad ready.
Now, of course, question is how will Dberlatto continue up with this? Panzer is going to cover up the retreat path. If they hit some Panzerschrecks right now, that could definitely prove to be disadvantageous for the Su-85s. So far, no Panzerschrecks. Su-85s bombarding, killing pioneers. And just noting that Dberlatto's forces have been crippled again, largely by the presence of that howitzer, which has so far killed 35, including 3 Germans.
Infantry fire incoming! Assault gunner ready for action.
Su-85s quickly escaping.
Ordered for bravery.
And a fresh barrage.
This now belongs to the people and workers of the Soviet Union.
We must protect our HQ.
Position!
That's all across the front until he continues to bombard. Now we're seeing actually a Panther out for Warboss. Looks like he's decided.
You are showing weakness. We are down to 75 points.
You're showing weakness. Well, certainly. Dberlatto is showing weakness. And there we go. Support company down. And veterans flee for the howitzer. And a light artillery barrage against the Guards infantry. Also in Telemines there, I mean, Warboss has been surprisingly active with his mines. I mean, so far I don't think any of them actually destroyed a Soviet vehicle at all, but still they're there just in case. Whereas Dberlatto's not been so strong in his mining despite having cheaper mines. Which is actually a bit surprising, but again does show a difference. And we're noting another chance of striking out in the howitzer, but he simply doesn't grasp it. Instead, he's more concerned with the German tanks. Interestingly enough, going on right here. But pretty much the entire Soviet base is now dust, having been rendered so by German artillery. Panzergrenadiers at the same time running amok on Dberlatto's infantry. And really having trouble with these Panzergrenadiers, it seems. Su-85's blasting away, but they can't quite hit anything. And the Guards infantry's not doing too well, and they're going to direct assault on the howitzer, but they're only conscripts. At most they can get off a Molotov, which is going to decrew, but not ultimately destroy it. Again, they should have been Su-85s doing this, and they should have been doing this a long time ago. Instead, too late now. Looks like Friedrich here lost his nerve and ran for it. And Warboss is on the rampage. 2 full squads of Panzergrenadiers on the way. Looks like he's had enough. Vengeance shall be his. Imagine some light artillery popping up to cover the north point. Panzer IV getting spotted by the Su-85s. Less good. Almost down, in fact. And the conscripts up here are largely weathering it. Bit of a waste of munitions there, to be honest. Oh, Su-85! Telemine went off, and there we go. Almost down. What you get for 60 munitions. And there we go, 1 Su-85 down, the others there. It actually gets increased line of sight. He's using tracking. Sneaky. Panzer going to try and flank. But at the same time, the H-85 is very close to Veteran T2. Still, somehow, Dberlatto is still holding on, although it is beginning to become more and more relative how much he's holding on. Headquarters ready to crumble like a poorly built house of cards. And there we go, Panthers rushing in. Can he make it? Can he make it? Or will the H-85 be able to stop him? And there we go, Panther taking severe damage. Once more bringing up tracking, interestingly enough. And there we go, Veteran T2. Panther needs to keep moving, but trouble is there's not enough room to do it. And there we go, Panther down. Panther down. A blow of some size to Warboss, although he's close to getting his Panzer IV Veteran T2.
We are losing a sector.
And there we go, Veteran T2 armoured skirts up. Really only used for, and actually only meant to deal with anti-tank rifles. And there you go, Panzer IV pulling away. And looks like two T-35s are running in. A bit of armoured warfare. And another Veteran T3 Panzergrenadier squad to replace the one lost. Warboss is on the warpath. And these Guards infantrymen are in an awful lot of trouble. And there we go, another Panther.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Not entirely sure why he's splitting up his tanks. Alright, H-85 moving up, Veteran T2. T-35 needs to turn about. He needs both of them to face off. There we go, Panzer squat down. He looks like he might be trying to use... Oh dear, H-85 moving in on its own. Pack, Panther, Panzer IV. Getting desperate to hold the victory points, but he's making some considerable mistakes. He should have focused all of his armour in one push. Grenadiers that are quickly swept away by the T-35s and their 85mm guns. Panzer IV coming under fire. And the T-34s actually forced off the field. Just be careful they don't hit the telemine. That could definitely be game over. And there we go. Telemine does the job again. And there we go, Panzer IV spots the prey and goes in for the kill. And there we go, T-35 down. And right there was a poorly executed assault by Dberlatto. He should have focused on the centre with everything he had. Instead, it is too late now. And pretty much all of his armoured forces are going down here. And there we go. Game over. A loss to the Soviet Union. Rather close battle. But problem with Dberlatto was he never quite understood what the priority was. And that was the howitzer. He should have destroyed that so much earlier. Instead it was allowed to constantly rampage against his positions and do so much damage. Had he knocked it out quickly, that would have been 600 manpower gone without anything to recuperate it. And that would really have been a huge blow to Warboss. But with it, a Warboss was able to keep up, despite the H-85 was able to destroy everything else that Dberlatto had. He was able to keep up some severe attrition, and in that sense he was ultimately able to win. The telemines also proved vital, in particular in the later stages of the game. Dberlatto, on the other hand, was not quite as strong with mines, and that really also should have been one of his priorities, mining the vital roads. That did not happen again. That gave Warboss another advantage. I mean, in several cases, Dberlatto made some not so strong strategic and tactical decisions which allowed Warboss to gain the upper hand in the long run. Warboss, on the other hand, also made some mistakes. He should have gotten an officer out earlier to boost his own infantry, but I also think, again, had he had a Pack 43 out around here, he could have dominated the map much earlier and more easy, and this fight could have been over much quicker as well. So, I mean, some mistakes on both sides, but ultimately, Dberlatto's was much more grave. Despite some other good things, again, I mean, reasonable unit preservation, but again, under the howitzer, it failed, and once the telemines really began setting in, because he couldn't all of a sudden decide where to go, he really fell apart. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. My apologies again for technical difficulties. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, why not subscribe? Tell your friends. If you didn't, well, why not replay your own? Provide some feedback in the comments. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.